No close is just a mindset. And I know you might be saying that makes absolutely no sense, but let me explain. Because the warmest leads that you have are the ones that didn't close. And I know that sounds sort of antithetical, but if you think about it, with the exception of someone who just got off a sales call and said, this is definitely not for me, have a good day, someone that you don't close is the warmest a lead could possibly be. I mean, think about it. They went through the entire sales process, they got to the very end, and then in that final moment made the decision whether it was financial, maybe not the right time, etc., that they didn't want to take action right then and there. And this is where most people and closers give up, when in reality, it's just the start of phase two, what I call don't let them get away. Just because they didn't close doesn't mean that everything before that, the entire sales process, the setting process, every single piece of content that they've watched just goes to waste. It's just simply not true. Because if you continue to hammer them with content, testimonials, and personal check ins after the sales call, then more than likely they'll come back and close within the next 30 days. They simply just need to be pushed over the edge. And they need the certainty that what you do will work for them. And that's why this strategy that I'm about to show you works so well. Because you shouldn't interpret their decision to not take action in that one moment at the end of a sales call as a decision from them that they never want to take action at all. Because in 90% of cases, they actually do. And that's why you can't let them get away. Okay, so what does this no close flow actually look like? So as soon as they get off the call and they're not closed, they're added to an email flow. And they're going to get emails every single day for 30 days straight. And this is a special email list curated for no close prospects. And it's going to be filled with testimonials, educational content, long form videos, and case studies. And at the end of each email will be a CTA to go back and book their follow up call so that they can close. But you want to be hammering them with emails every single day for 30 days straight at least, showing them testimonials of the people who have actually taken that decision, who were in their similar position and are now in their desired state, which also happens to be the prospect's desired state. And what it's going to do is give them that certainty, the certainty that it will actually work for them. Because the reason that they didn't close was they weren't certain that it could work for them. And so one day after, we're going to have the closer dial them up via phone and say something along the lines of, hey, I really enjoyed our call yesterday. Even though you didn't end up joining or whatever, I could tell you're really ambitious to scale to $10,000 a month with AI, scale your e-commerce business, become a better closer, whatever your offer is about. And so I talked to the offer owner, I talked to Jeff, and we thought that you would find this insert an important asset really useful. And so not only are we now putting ourselves in the forefront of their mind, considering they had this sales call yesterday and the very next day they're already being called up by that same closer, we're letting them know that we know that they're an ambitious person and we're going to give them an asset now that they can look over that's going to be extremely useful to them and related to the offer. So it could be an asset, it could be a PDF, it could be a group, it could be a mini course, but you're just going to send them this asset over text message after the call. But you want to give them something tangible that they can access so that they think about it and you stay in the forefront of their mind. And this needs to be the day after, not 2 days after, not 3 days after, the day after they get off of that sales call. And this works alongside with the emails being sent to them. And after that, you're simply going to continue texting and calling them. So a good time to do this if you're a closer is in between sales calls or when you get a no-show. So instead of sitting there for 40 minutes or opening up Hulu to watch regular show, you're going to spend that 40 minutes calling up these leads, these prospects who didn't close, and just checking in with them, seeing how they're doing. How is their journey going? Are they still struggling with the problems that you guys talked about on the sales call? Spoiler, they are. One day you can call them, the next day you can send them a text, check in with them, send them a client case study video, send checkup text. Hey, how are you doing? You know, are you still struggling with XYZ? What happened about what you were talking about on the sales call? You want to call them every few days and check in with them. Ask them how's it going, and ask them how's it going with insert the reason that they didn't close. Are you still feeling uncertain? that what we provide could actually fix your problems. And if, as a caveat, the lead is getting money, so they said, hey, well, I don't have the money on me right now. I need to ask someone. I need to do X, Y, Z, but I'll have it to you by the end of the week and we can close. Spoiler, they never get the money because you never follow up with them. Then you need to text and call them every single day. You should have a Google Sheet open with a tracker tracking if you called or texted them and what you guys talked about. Because if you wait a week after your sales call to text or call them again, they've already gone completely cold. They've forgotten about your sales call and they no longer care. So you need to hold them accountable every single day. You need to text them. You need to call them. You need to check in with them. See how they're doing. See if they've gotten that money. What do they need to do? What can you do for them? So to recap, what we're doing is we're just hammering them with content. We're hammering them with emails that contain educational content, testimonials, case studies, and long form videos, all with CTAs at the end. We're calling and checking in with them. We're texting them. If it's a money problem, we're seeing how they're doing with that. If they've been able to get the money together, we're creating more certainty. And most importantly, we're staying in the forefront of their minds. So every single day when they get that text, when they get that call, they're thinking about us. They're thinking about the call that we had with them, as well as the product, and especially the pain points that they're facing right now. Basically making them even more painful and unbearable so that they need the solution. And after 30 days, if they still haven't closed after 30 days, I have a rule that you can stop calling and texting them so you have more time for the new leads coming in. Because if you were to continue this with every single lead that didn't close, after a year, you'd be texting 1,000 people a day. That just simply wouldn't make any sense. So I do have a rule for my closers that if it's after 30 days, you're going to stop calling and texting them and focusing on the new leads that haven't closed. But that doesn't mean that the journey is necessarily over, because I'm still going to add them to an automated email list. And this one is usually a concurrent email list. So it might have maybe a 10-day or 30-day schedule of pre-made emails, but then I'll be constantly writing emails to send to this list. And it's the same thing as that 30-day list: more testimonials, educational content, case studies, long form videos, all with CTAs to go and book another call. And using this strategy, if you continue to hammer the leads who got on a sales call but didn't close, and you actually keep track of them, how many times you've called them, why they didn't close, what's their current situation, etc., your close rate will skyrocket because these leads will come back. And when they do, they will be pre-sold. It will be the easiest sales call of you or your closer's life. And too many people are worried about, how do I get better at handling objections? How do I get better at this sales skill so that they can up their close rate? When in reality, you need to think about it as a long-term game. The best way to up your close rate and therefore collect more money is to chase after and close those leads who didn't close the first time after the first call. And that's the most important thing that I teach all of my closers and that I implore you to start utilizing as a closer or as someone who manages closers. And if you guys want this entire board, just go ahead and go to my Instagram. The handle is right here and also in my description. And just go and DM me the word asset, and I will send over this mirror board along with all the other mirror boards for my YouTube videos. And lastly, if you are an online coach, creator, or consultant, and you have an info offer doing $5, $10, $15, $20,000 a month, and you want to scale, or you don't have an offer, but you are a professional in your niche, I want you to go to this link right now and watch this video that I made for you. I'm offering to analyze and reposition your offer to make it irresistible, create you a content framework that attracts quality leads, build you out an optimal sales flow to convert those leads into high ticket clients while taking care of everything on the back end and the front end, and then systemizing your fulfillment to provide quality results while saving you time. So if you already own an info offer or want to launch one, I do implore you to go to this link and watch this video to see if we could work together. But other than that, thank you guys for making it this far and watching this video. If you are interested in building an online info business, an online coaching business, go ahead and go to my YouTube channel and check out all those other videos that I have. They're all related to building a successful online business. But other than that, see you guys in the next video.